I was having a conversation earlier with my brother, especially, it's such a hot mess right now. Every election year, it was like, oh my God, they just can't get it together. I'm like, just read James Baldwin, get it together, girls. But I think one of the, I'm a huge nerd. I love books. I have a big bookshelf in my living room. And I love books because it's a reminder of of just the medicine that it needs for these moments. And I know that right now, I think one of the biggest things that I realized, I'm like, oh my God, with everything that's happening, it's important for us to just more of like self-preservation. I think that's, for me, that's the biggest thing. Protect your energy. That's why I've been telling people, I'm like, just protect your energy. I don't need to be arguing with people online. I need to block people. I'm doing everything possible to just be cute, because I feel like it's hard. So I think, thank you for that poem that reminds us of the medicine that we need in these moments that we're living through. And thank you for all the poets that have been sharing these beautiful words that remind us of like, there's hope. So next up, we have the Vice Poet Laureate coming up to the stage. Nush Dukar bio reads, I'm 15, a freshman at Mountain View High School. To me, poetry serves as a reminder of the beautiful things worth living for in this world. Poetry has provided me a scope of my imagination and for my own healing. Every random thought in the shower, every phrase I dreamt of in the middle of the night goes straight into one of my many half-used notebooks, later making their way into stanzas. Poetry has given me voice to the subtles of details I've noticed and the most intense of emotions I didn't know how to express to others. This art of noticing and crafting emotions into words allows me to feel more control of my thoughts, allowing me to grow emotionally and harmonizing the different parts of my life. So please clap it up for the Vice Poet Laureate.
Beating in my chest. Let me take a deep breath. So, hi everyone.
Hi.
My name is Anushka. So I want to begin with my poem called I Think About the Way I Had Courage. I think about the way my flesh and bones were soaked in rain and dust. I wrung out my heart and hung it on the clothesline, left it out for too long in the arid wind. Despair, agony, sadness, they stamped on my hands. Defeat, I wrote in the air. The sky had been swallowed, leaving a hollowness that shook out my breath until there was no space for waves to crash and roll, for them to keep a flow moving within the walls of my body. Until my blood ran thicker than ever, pulling my muscles down, sinking with my footprints imprinting into hardwood floors. I craned my head to a window, my eyes tightly shut. I could hear the sunlight singing in the air, letting a gentle warmth press against my eyelids. I willed them open, taking in fragments of walls and chairs. And I remembered the way the sun illuminates the golden throat of the hummingbird. How a creature so small can shine with such brilliance. I remembered the way the soil crumbled between my fingers, but supported baby leaves and entangled roots. Softness molded into something I could hold, break apart, and bring together again and again. I remembered the way the rain rushes down in its torrential dance. Unapologetic and proud, my feet began to feel the ground beneath them, begin to feel a beat pulsing through my blood, my veins an instrument of spark and life. I think about how I wrote in the air, courage. It was hiding in my soul, an ember waiting to be set aflame. Thank you. So this next piece is titled Sugar. There's a certain softness she held in her mouth. Buttery smooth with a tongue of sugar, crystallizing more and more each day. She didn't want to hold any sharp edges along the ridges of her teeth or let her saliva soak in acidity. We both knew the real reason she kept her lips soft as lotus petals, painted in hues of pink. She was terrified of people thinking that she could spit venom at their shoes or that she could rip them apart by snarling her words. I knew that she would grin, battling pools of water behind her eyes, dripping their way into the ventricles of her heart. We both held that softness in our mouths. We were both too afraid to harden them and say something out loud. Our softness is one of our greatest strengths because we know that sugar holds a universal sweetness even sour faces can enjoy. But sugar doesn't hold. It will crumble and weather down like brittle bones struggling to keep attached, keeping our skin thin, paper-like, so we wouldn't be able to sustain jabs and small cuts. It would fold along with us. We absorbed into our shells. Softness buried away with our flesh, hidden in the corners of our mouths. Thank you. I wanted to come up here and just say thank you so much for this opportunity. I've never felt so excited and safe in my life. This is great. And my bio says I'm 15, but I actually just turned 16 a week ago.